Hi, thank you for coming to this webinar. I have asked Raymond here. You introduce yourself. Hey, great. Hi, my name is Raymond Merritt, and I'm the CEO of Gatosk. I'm here to support Joshua with his webinar he's conducting tonight. Thank you for your time and coming this evening. I look forward to getting to know you a little bit more. Great. All right, let me introduce myself. My full name is Joshua Schultz. I'm the CMO here, Marketing Officer. Thank you for coming. This webinar the purpose is to focus on marketing suite and in general questions in relation to Gatosk, the company. I'd like to introduce everyone here. I wanted to let you know that I've worked and met with you guys over the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce Michael over here. Wave. He's from Missouri. Oh, excuse me. I met with all the same people in the same state here last week. Here, Michael, there, and then there's Terry and Robert. Raise your hand there, okay. And then there's Sharon. Sharon, name sign Sharon. Cannon, there. You raise your hand there. I'm Susan, not Sharon. Susan. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan. And then there's down below there is let's see, George, correct? George, yes, that is correct. And then those 5 are from Missouri. And well, actually, I'm from Minnesota, but I'm here temporarily. All right, great, thank you. The other 2 people are from Utah. There's Jonathan. Hello, I'm Jonathan. And then there's Greg down below. Can you raise your hand, Greg? Can you raise your hand? Oh well. Hi, oh, great, hi. Then there's Kevin from Texas. So, hey, I'm glad everybody can make it. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with the questions. We'll start with Robert and Terry. Go ahead. Hi, this is Robert, and I would like to see you guys to improve on your communications with using video phone and with a live person, and also over the phone, so that would resolve a lot of issues. Well, that's a good question. To let you know that next month, and we plan to we will set up where we have a telephone support where you can contact and speak over the telephone, and you can call through video relay service. That's great news from then on. Once we expand, we'll be able to have a video phone service in the future. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, you need to have a increase your video phone training, and step-by-step directions needs to be listed. It's very hard to see on a computer. It's very small. It needs to be enlarged so that it can be easier to read, and it needs to be clearer. Oh, that's good. All right. That's a good question. If you have noticed, there's some training, some video training, where you can click down and you can make it into a full screen on your computer screen. There's a little icon there, and you could click on it and it will make it a full screen. And then there will be unfortunately we can't change the coloring, but we will be looking for a program or something to make it better and make it find a replacement for that. And we will also be expanding the fonts, or changing the fonts so that make it easier to read pretty soon. All right? Great. Okay, great. On to Michael. You can go ahead. Hi. I would like to speak about VIP training, that training group, and and see there's like a VIP certification that way the others can know that I do, one-on-one training. Would that be possible? There's no real other than having the label. Yes. Hold on. Yeah. First of all, to take the test, once you pass the test, you will get a certification for that. This is related to HUBS. I think what Michael is asking is a general one-on-one training. So you've completed the training with Joshua? Yeah, with Joshua, and we had a group of us. We had specialized training. Um, oh, that's a great suggestion for that. Yeah, we'll consider that. For now, we have online internet courses. Once you pass that course, you get certified, and then HBT. Once you've done the HBT, I will provide you certification to attend those. Those are the two certifications that we provide. But one-on-one with Joshua, yeah, we can consider that. Maybe we'll be able to offer that. Yeah, that's good feedback. That's something new that we haven't heard. My second question is, can we make AR easier for us? Because there's not that many people are really experts on how to link everything with text and AR and ad blocker. It's a lot of work to figure this all out. Maybe you could set up one express and something easier, like a basic button to where you could like just set it up instead of having to link each one. I mean, it would make it easier to set it up. It's like a one-click system rather than trying to figure out all of that, And then it should be another option where it's for expert settings, and those for people who are very experienced. It'd make it easier for it. That's a wonderful question. Raymond would be happy to explain that. Sure. AR system is really amazing. It's really for the advanced marketer. It's pretty advanced in itself. So we provide, not many MLMs will provide that tool. It's pretty amazing. That tool is pretty key for growing your team. But you're right. Yes, I agree that it isn't complex. It's more for the advanced user, and we're trying to get our developer to help us with that. And AR will be improving over the next year. Hopefully, from a year from now, it'll be really basic, and it'll be already set up automatically. Maybe one or two steps, and then you can begin. I agree with you. If we don't improve on that, then a lot of people will just kind of be out of it and kind of give up on that. So, yes, I agree. So that's why we are developing a checklist. We have a checklist. There's 16 steps, 16 and 16 steps. The first 16 steps are pretty simple, and I don't really encourage you to use the AR system for now. Just focus on how to use the text ads and how to use banner ads, and that's it. Those two in those 16 steps, they're included. So that's what I suggest for beginners. ARs, we should probably hold off on that for now. First, focus on the text ads and the banner ads. And once you feel comfortable with that, then move on to AR. At the same time, we are working hard to make AR much simpler with less steps. And that's what in the process right now. Oh, great. I agree with you with everything. No question. We want to make everything simpler. It needs to be more simpler because it can get quite overwhelming. So I agree, and you lose people that way. So it's good to know that a lot of you've been going through the trainings and completing that, and you understand how to use the text ads and the banner. As long as you follow those steps, you will then you can work with once you finish the training, you'll be able to proceed. ML. Michael, that's good. I agree. I noticed that the AR is very complex, and I agree with what you're saying. It's a bit overwhelming. Wow. So I wonder about other people that if they try to use this system. So they need to become skilled and understand some of the steps. And once they get used to it, then later, then we can maybe go to a location and help someone to be able to understand that system once we've explained it to them over and over. There's different levels. Everyone has their learning abilities are different, so we might have to actually meet them in person to help them out. So I believe in meeting them one-on-one. It's your responsibility to provide that personal support through Zoom, one-on-one support, maybe a one-day training and help them set up everything and have them practice it and do it over and over again until they get to the point where they understand it. And then the second day, you can walk them through online, about advertising. It's pretty simple to do. That's what we're working on, focused on how to improve their understanding. And that's accomplished by doing that one-on-one. That's a great explanation. Thank you. Somebody wanted to add something else? Greg? I think that maybe, I want to add this idea, like maybe setting up a program or a person that works with that person one-on-one, like, as far as AR, you could be even charge a fee where they pay something and then you could just do it for them, take care of it for them. It's just an idea. Well, the problem is that there's fees and fees. You keep adding fees and you having to pay for everything. People are going to get fed up and not wanting to. They'll think it should be included in the plan. So, yeah, I understand that. Again, we keep in mind that our fees are really dirt cheap. I challenge you to find another MLM company that charges $5 a month and that's it. There's no startup, no investment capital. There's just not that many out there. So we are charging very little. And now you're asking for a lot more, to add more services. That's a bit of a challenge, and we're trying to do our best and try to go out of our way. So those fees, for example, the $2 fee and everybody's getting upset, that's fine. Really, it's dirt cheap. And, some of them, you guys know the works. You guys took the training and the course and the certification. You guys paid $30 or $10 to $30, something like that. So it costs money. So keep that in mind. But yes, we are doing our best to meet those demands. You guys are doing an awesome job. I'm really impressed, and it's been great. Thank you. Thank you. The next question. Go ahead. All right. Yeah. You're done with your question? Okay, great. We'll move on to the next person. Let's see here. All right, then. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, mine's a little bit related to like the $5 fee, for service. A lot of the customers, members, or whatever are feeling like they're starting to complain. They don't understand why there's a $5 fee. What does that include? What is the purpose of that? You think that maybe you can explain that and clear that up so that others that are watching can understand why you charge $5. Can maybe expand on that? That's a good question. I agree with your saying. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we were going to work on emphasizing and explaining exactly what the fees are for. The fee is to keep our website running, going, operating. There's so many components, and that's what the fee covers. To be clear, what is the fee? It's a distributor fee. Is that what you're talking about? Yes. And then there's another $5 that people are confusing with the basic pack. There's $5 and $5. There's two different. Yeah, I guess I'm talking about the distributor fee. All right. Well, yeah, that takes you to the website. It's not free. It costs money. You guys own your own stores. So a link that connects you to the store and the Gatosk. Those aren't free. We pay for those. So that's what the $5 charge is for. Some people are suggesting, why don't you have $5 merged with the other $5 so that the basic package would be part of one fee? Why do we have a separate fee? So that's what I'm considering and discussing. The purpose is because some people advertisers don't want to be distributed, so they're just interested in the advertising credits and all that. So I give them the flexibility. So that's why they can either purchase the basic package without the distributor fee and still have access to their customer account area. And there you can do the ads, you can use, but you can't see what the distributor can see. So it's 100% customer base. So that's why there's a flexibility. That's why it's broken down into two costs. I mean, you could, I guess, technically merge them together, make a $10 fee, but I decided to keep those separated. So you have the option. Yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't you have the $5 distributor fee without having to buy the package? And if you want to include the package, maybe there's one rate rather than having two charges, Yeah, that's really good. With the 5 and 5, they can run without having the package. Do you understand? Some of the distributors, if you pay just the distributor fee, then I can go crazy and recruit and make money in that way, without even having any service or selling or being part of the package. And then the other side of that, distributor fee, that means you can access the back office. You can see your referrals and all your links. But the Surface package means you don't access the Gatosk University. You don't access the marketing suite. AR, so there's limited. But everything else runs. You can still run a business without the Surface package. So it just gives you flexibility. Or some people, I'm dealing with Purple VRS, and possibly we're going to have a banner advertising for Purple, and Purple are is excited, willing to pay the $100 a fee a month in order to have their banner on Gatosk. So they're not part of the recruiting business, but they are willing to pay the service package for the advertising, so that gives them flexibility. So there might be the option to add the package. You can maybe have an option where you say yes, and then it will combine the two. And when they check out, there's one payment for both, for the distributor fee and the package. So I'm considering that based on your suggestions. So I'm trying to improve on that part, yes. Like when you go on the checkout in the cart, you can see how many items are in the cart, and maybe it becomes one item when you check out. So yeah, that's true. And I would like to add that, include that $5 fee. For example, there's the AR reporting system. This is all included, and the users depend on that AR. We have to, where we hold the links in your system. So that's a really valuable part of it, and it's very cheap. So come on, guys. Maybe you can we just need a clear explanation so we understand. So that helps. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we'll be working on that. So you're finished? No, I've only done one question, so I have another question. All right, my second question is, a lot of members don't understand how to use the credits in advertising. So I'm going to focus on the advertising part. I mean, how do we know the charges if we're using AR and the discounts? How do we get advertising credit based on the package or what? Can you expand on that? So the advertising credits is only for the advertising credits for the ACC. So the marketing credits, maybe Raymond can add to that. So store credits are for anywhere. You can use it in the store credit, convert it to the advertising credit. Store credits are more valued, sort of like a cash value credit. The advertising credits are a little more specific to ACC. Advertising credits are not used for the store. Not for the marketing suite. So maybe if people are confusing marketing suite, the marketing suite in itself, you guys only need to pay the service package to access the marketing suite, that $5 fee or the $10 service package to be able to access the marketing suite. Advertising credit goes towards ACC. That's it. So now you asked me about advertising credits. I'll expand on that. One advertising credit is equal to 1 cent. So if you buy $1, you pay $1, you get 100 advertising credits. So you buy $10 worth, you get 1,000 advertising credits. Now, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. So 1,000 credits, how does that mean? That sends to 1,000 people, 1,000, how's that convert? Okay, so 1,000 credits. So if you paid $10 and you have 1,000 credits. So we apologize. Like all this time, we guys have advertising credits been built up. The store credits you've been spending, you can use that now. You can buy for someone for Mother's Day credit, a gift, or Father's Day, or an e-card. You can send it via email right now. You can send those out using your store credit. But advertising credits, you guys have not been using them. They've been building up. So pretty soon, we're going to open the ACC in the next few weeks. Once that opens, at first it's going to be kind of awkward. You're not going to be really sure how it works, but how it works is 1,000 credit equals to about roughly, for most ads, 1,000 views. So impressions, basically impressions. So 1,000 times somebody's going to view this for 1 cent for one person to see your advertisement anywhere. It could be Gatosk. If you want to advertise about Gatosk, you have to, your clothing or apparel, but you can't advertise like Gatosk, opportunity, but other businesses, maybe for your church organization, some sort of whatever you want to advertise, something you want to advertise, you want to take advantage and use Gatosk for that. It doesn't have to be a banner. It could be a text ad, hoping someone will notice that, and then you can check ACC and you'll be able to see how many people actually hit your link. It'll tell you how many people, and then how many people viewed your link. There's views, impressions, or I guess they're called impressions. So then 1 cent equals 1 impression. So it depends on the size. If it's 1 cent, it's a smaller size. For the larger banners, it costs maybe 4 cents a banner. So there's different sizes. Many advertisers are overwhelmed. It's self-service. Most advertisers usually have to call and, I want to make an ad. I want to put an ad on your website. While ours is self-serve. You can go ahead. You can input your ad, hit, and we'll approve it within 24 hours or less. It can't be, dirty, inappropriate advertising. Those will be denied. But we want to make sure it's good ads, and those will be approved to show on our website. We average our traffic is about, people are looking at Gatosk every day, and it's growing. There's a high amount of traffic on Gatosk. People are very thrilled to advertise. So if any of you want to advertise other than Gatosk, some other product or service, you think about that, and then in the next couple weeks, you're going to get a lot of fresh eyes looking at, you're going to have a lot of hits for your website through Gatosk. Does that answer your question? Yes, many thanks. Awesome. So 1 cent basically for a certain size, and then the larger ads will be maybe more. There'll be a price list. There'll be a price that you can see. So there'll be a chart to show what you get for those prices. So yeah, we will be sharing that with you guys soon. Is that ACC? Yes, that's the ACC pricing. We'll have more to show via email in the future shortly. Oh, great. Thank you. That's very exciting. That ACC is, wow. It's going to be a pretty powerful tool. And yeah, you're right on. ACC is very valuable. It's going to be key in the future, is what I'm seeing over the years, that the advertising program tends to last. It almost never shuts down or closes down. It's 8 billion movies in industry is going to continue. So, anyways, ACC. Wait, I want to. The screen kind of froze, so that I missed what you were saying there. Actually, the number is larger. It's $500 billion. Advertising itself is a very huge industry. There's a lot of companies spending a lot of money in advertising for competitive sports. Like, how does sports, operate? They have to advertise. How does Google operate? It's free service. They advertise. Facebook. It's where they're making their profits from. They're advertising. So it's one of the largest industries in the world. It's not even 8 billion. It's $500 billion. It's like 2015 it said 6 or 700 billion dollars. So, we need to take advantage and use and tap into that industry. As long as you have traffic. That's why we check Gatosk every day. That helps our business. Every time you check and click on into Gatosk, that's key to bringing up traffic, and then advertisers are willing to pay to advertise on our website, and that ends up growing, and the traffic grows, and it just builds on from there. People think Gatosk is only a t-shirt company, but actually t-shirts are part of it, but mainly it's the advertising, and that's going to grow. It's going to expand. We need to focus. T-shirts are important too, but actually people don't really seem to realize that. One of them, I thought it was just a t-shirt company, and I'm starting to learn more and more as I look into it in depth. Oh, it's much more than that. So we need to educate people on that part, that it's about the advertising, as Raymond explained. You're right. We have no, Facebook, there'd be none of that, but because of advertising and the traffic, that's how they are successful. That's right. So it's pretty overwhelming. I mean, Gatosk is much different than other MLM companies because there's a different audience, a larger audience. There's designers, sellers, advertisers. So there's a lot to learn. Great. Okay, then we're going to move on to next person that has a question would be all right. So next, George, and then Sharon, Susan. My name is Susan. I'm sorry. You're funny, Joshua. Yes, I apologize. Yes, that's okay. Okay, so George is going to say something now. Okay. People who don't pay the distributor fee and the package fee, for how long will Gatosk companies customers will be linked in? Is it a year? Does it expire after a certain amount of time or for life? Oh, that's a great question. And they can continue, it's locked in for basically forever. So like the other group here, kind of the fake emails and the made up, they have no activities and no activities past a year. What we do, we will take those accounts and put them on auction. Yeah. So I think that'd be a good thing to add. Right. That group is of like the fake people have joined, but actually they're not really, you can tell by their IP address or the email doesn't really work. They made up like it's a totally fake account. So those ones, if we don't hear anything from them or nothing happens within a year, then we reserve the right to do whatever we want with that account. But you're right, Joshua. Whoever the people that are actual, real email address, actual people, they're not paying a monthly fee, so they they get to keep their spot forever. They can take advantage of some of the store credits once in a while because the payouts every other week, sometimes those get grouped in. They take advantage of the store credits, and then once they realize how great Gatos is, they can return. So yeah. Or if they feel like that person is just nothing, like really like they're an actual person, but they really haven't decided. They haven't done anything with Gatos. We plan to set up a system where we can transfer those accounts. So transfer accounts. The other MLMs, some of them you can transfer. It's as long as if you select the person, um, that person, we can change that to another person. Maybe somebody else wants to take advantage to take that spot. Doesn't mean that person really quits one team and joins another team. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about this specific account. It's kind of dead. Nothing's going on. And another person is can basically buy out maybe us for a low fee. One MLM charges $90. It's a 6-week process to transfer that over, and it's a $90 fee. Ours will be more reasonably priced. We haven't exactly decided on that fee, but it'll be a very reasonable price for the paperwork and the work that it takes to transfer. So that's what we plan on doing in the future. Makes sense. It's $90 because it's not really fair that you get to jump in ahead of everyone. So then if you want to jump in and ahead of they were willing to pay a fee possibly for that. That would make sense. $90, to control. If it was like cheap, then everybody would be jumping around and doing like that, So it's a way to control and make sure people are really serious and motivated. So that'd be a good fee. It's probably not really a good idea to let people know if that you're not interested. I'm going to keep you for life, and you can join at any time. I don't think we should say that. That way we don't really kind of take advantage of that. What do you think about that? That's a good point. So yeah, the people that are motivated, then there's some that are not as interested, and then somebody else below them that are more interested. They should be able to skip. And they deserve it. Because there's people higher up that don't do anything. They shouldn't be expected to earn, so they should be active. That Michael wanted to comment. Wanted to clarify that people that are not active, we have a computer system in our system that every 2 weeks when we have the payout, they will look for only the active members only. And those who are not active, the system temporarily moves them out and moves them kind of to the bottom so that, as you said, those people that are more active will get to kind of move up. They're not going to jump way ahead, but they get to move up, kind of compact. It's a great system. If you see there's a hole and they're not really active and you want to replace that person, but don't forget the system is a smart system, and so when the payouts, they would make sure that they can maximize their earnings. You have a large team. And you have a lot of inactive members. Those active members will get to kind of be compressed, and they get to earn money. So it does work that way. Maybe you could explain. It's better to label it say for example, possibly they might say, they might sue because they said that they were promised that it's lifetime. They might be able to sue about that. Maybe it needs to be explained that they can kind of get switched out, or maybe they should be aware of it ahead of time so that you can prevent any kind of litigation or something because they thought they had a spot for life. Yes, of course. So we were responsible for that, making sure they are active. That way we can make a decision at the time. So, you mean for fake accounts? Yes, but for real accounts, it's different. As the time comes, it gets close to a year. You're talking about fake accounts, but a real person, we need to be able to give them some notice that we're going to transfer your account, and that person can say, okay, whatever, I'll let I release my account or whatever. I'm sure Gaddis has a policy agreement within the agreement, small print, that gives you the power to make decisions like that. Gaddis reserves the right. I'm sure there's some wording about that. That's true. All right, so my second question. What is Gaddis foresee territories, like one in the East, one in the Midwest, and in the West? Is that a possibility? Thank you. Maybe I asked this question a little bit too early. They might be in the future. There will be like a East headquarters and Mid and West. Correct. You're right. Correct. Some people in the West or people in the East, they take the test and get certified. Then we will announce, like in the calendar in the back office, we'll let those know who can host trainings and take a training, and you'll see the names and based on location, regional. So that's what we're going to be doing. And that HBT, you're talking about HBT, right? Yes. Right, HBT, that's a home business training. That means the distributors will have, like, a West Coast, East Coast, Central, like you said, but we're specifically talking about the headquarters, Gatosk office. Is that you're talking about the office itself? Yeah, because you are based in the East Coast. They might have like a branch. You know what I'm saying? Like a branch in different locations. So you can go to a meeting and drive there, instead of having to travel all the way from coast to coast. That's true. The office, we foresee in the future, we'll having an office and a storefront as well. The storefront could be possibly mobile, like in a van, or that opens up and it prints. You could print in an hour, and people could take a photo and just walk up and get a shirt printed. That's what I'm envisioning, a mobile storefront. Yeah, mobile, like that, with like advertising and Gatos on this, on the side, and a picture. That would be pretty neat. Yeah, like Deaf Expo will pull up, not only selling apparel, but then also there'll be advertising opportunities, and even possibly like a kiosk. We're envisioning having an office and a store as well, but right now our store is only on the internet. And the people that want to come into our office, we have had some investors and some guests have wanted to come on in. But really this is an internet based. There's no actual storefront saying, "Hey, come on in. We have no cash register here. We can't accept cash," or there's nothing like that here. We're internet based, but we do envision that in the future to have that internet based and as well an actual store. So obviously, when on the East Coast, West Coast, want to be able to have like branches, or maybe a mobile unit in the West and the East. And then those of you who are members that can get like maybe lease something like that because you're a member of Gatos, VIP sort of like privileges. You can rent a mobile unit and advertise and get people new distributors. That's what we kind of envision. That's great. That's wonderful. All right, great, thank you. And so now next, the next person we have to ask a question is Jonathan here. Hello. The autoresponders already shown evidence of being successful. A lot of people have signed up. I see that there. That's amazing. It's really, really awesome. And now I have a question related to that. When people sign up, will there be a way for us to know that this person has signed up as a customer, or if they've signed up as a distributor, or as a graphic designer. I like to know what type of person they are, so we can support them better. That's a good question. As far as we know, we have 4 different types of audience: the dealer, the advertiser, the web buyer. In AR, we could set up something only for graphic designers, and we have for example, we have like 4 LP for Gatosk opportunities. This is for the seller. We have a setup for that, and then we have the graphic designer, and there's a label there set up for a graphic designer, and there's a clothing LP landing page. LP is landing page. There's one also for the customers. So is that understood? Understand that? But when they sign up, how do we know what they are? Oh, that's a good question. Raymond might be able to explain that one. Yes, Joshua was trying to explain that the different landing pages, LP. You pick whether you feel like that might fit that audience. Whether if they're the graphic designer, then you would have to kind of set up a list, a graphic designer list. Then now once you start advertising, based on what your more interests are, if you want to advertise all 4 groups, or you may be more customer base or a distributor, then when you advertise, those people who join that list, they're not going to tell you, it's not going to tell you whether they're a distributor or a customer, but that list, based on where they've joined, they've probably, they're more likely to say like they've done the distributor than that, what they would likely be. But as you said, like once they join under your team, you will see like the view. When you see view team, you click on my team, and there's a tree that expands. It'll tell you what their role is. It'll say like distributor, or it'll say customer or something. With the graphic designer, we don't have that feature. We do need to add that. That is a good tip. Right, you say the landing page, say it's a web design landing page, those people are going to sign up. We should be able to know, that I advertise. That should tell me whether, like, at the same time, if I sent to all 4, then when they sign up, you should be able to see whether they, it's under clothing or a designer. Something should be clear. Kind of makes separate lists of some sort. Yes, that's correct. Exactly. That's great. That really was a great question. Do you have another question? Okay, so in the back office, under financial, you click on it and then it expands, and then you click on to grid, commission, match, bonus, commission, those 2. How will I know, if it's all together, like same as text board amount? How can I understand or figure? Sometimes I like the numbers, what things add up to, but it doesn't come out right. Can you explain, maybe clarify that? That's a really great question. Everything you see, you click under finance, it'll show up. You'll see the types, like the last 2 weeks, you'll see a bi-weekly payout. And then you can go back and refer back and see, the last 2 weeks, based on the dates. It shows all like the history in there. Right, but at the same time, it adds up, accumulates, over 5 months. It's hard to track. So I was wondering if you can break it up by like month to up to date, month to date, year to date in the finance portion. Yeah, we need to improve on that part. Yes, I like that idea. Perfect. I mean, do you agree? Right? You agree with this idea that we need to work on in the future, the way that the up to date figures, a better analysis. I agree. I have noticed that myself as well. That's an area we need to work on. So, as Joshua said, we have about 10 minutes left. I just want to let you know that we've been going here for 50 minutes now. Oh, great. Yeah, he's here. Sorry. Um, you have a question. Go right ahead. Hi, my name is. I have to instruct them clearly on what to do. Hoping that you could be able to explain. Your screen is kind of freezing. You have a very slow connection. I think he's asking about advertising. Like, where do we begin with instructing and training? I think that's his question. His screen is very slow, so we're having a hard time understanding his question. I have 1,000 people under me. I think ASA need more training. Yeah, Joshua, can you answer his question? I encourage those to go to the Gatosk University. There's a lot of training there, courses there. I understand what you're saying, that we need to improve upon in the future. Talking about like marketing and what how the HBT works. We will plan on doing that in the future. Yeah, you're right. I noticed that some people are not satisfied, even though we have Gatosk University that has a lot of training videos, but people like to be able to interact, and they're more visual and hands-on, to where they can become comfortable. Is that what Greg's saying about training before recruiting people? Is that what we're talking about, Greg? Okay. Yes, training leaders. Okay, yes, Washington, D.C. Next month we'll be having a talk about how to promote Gatos. So, for example, if you, for a 5-minute talk, how we talk about Gatos within 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how we do this. And there's a long presentation for 45 minutes. There's a 5-minute and a 45, and I'm hoping to have even a 1-minute. How would you explain, like, what would be the first sentence when you try to describe Gatos? What would you say in 30 seconds? What would you say in a 5-minute presentation, or a 45 presentation? Some people want a 2-hour, really, to where we expand on every portion and where we give a training. HBT will be doing that in the future. It's one of my goals, to improve on the training for everyone. All right, Michael. Yeah, I wanted to say I don't mind having one interpreter, 1 and 2 hearing people, so that it balances out, so that we can all and communicate, and the interpreter is able to sign. We can provide, maybe provide a balance. That's true. If you look in YouTube and search Gatos, you will see some webinars in the past where we've had hearing and deaf people mixed in, and having an interpreter on the screen. That is possible. Live interpreter, it's much cheaper. They're sitting there live, but if you can't have one interpreter, you need to have 2 interpreters. So there's one drawback to that. So you need to have 2 interpreters. So that takes up 2 screens. Then there's me, then Joshua. So there's that's 4 people that's taking up 4 screens. So we might be able to have 5 participants. Yes. We might bring that back like we have in the past. That's true. Maybe 2 interpreters in one room, possibly. Yeah, yeah. Like how Terry and Robert are doing. They're in the same room, right? That saves space. And there's room for others. So, okay, you have your hand up. I wanted to add that we do have plan on having the one-on-one with hearing people from once we've gotten some training, and we will help out those other communities and to get involved. Yeah, go ahead. Wait, there's 2 people who have their hands up. I have a question. We could. All right, thanks for the feedback. We will make a note of that and improve on that in the future. A search feature to where we can find what you're looking for. That's a great feedback. Thank you. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to that. We love hearing feedback from everyone so that we can improve our website experience and everything else. So keep it coming. Thanks. Robert's been raising his hand this whole time. Yeah, excuse me. Remember before we had the first program was advertising in the back office. Now where is it now? I don't see the advertising for Gatosk. How to join, how to be a distributor. I want to be able to see that first thing. We need to get that information before we access the office. We used to have it before. Yes, we definitely will be improving on that for sure. Yes. That's a great question. Yes. Michael? A weekly webinar or a meeting, will there be something like that in the future? Oh, yeah, we'll have them pretty often. Yes, of course, we're going to continue to have webinars and as we fine tune and how we can incorporate and have hearing and the deaf community all combined within Gatosk. Yes, great. I was wondering why not Josie and Charles, they run the hearing side, and then we can merge it, and that way we'll be more professional. Because hearing people can speak much faster and it moves much more smoother, and it's hard to combine the two. It might be easier if we kind of do a separate. Yeah, that's exactly kind of what we're working on now. There are 16 hearing distributors would like to get some training, and yes, we'll be, as they join in and it expands, we do plan on doing that. Yes. So that way the interpreter. Right. We have several. There's 3 different. He says, phone call. They're able to contact through phone calls or through the internet. And then as we move on, we'll get them set up. We'll have like webinars for hearing people. Yes. Yeah, there's several. A couple minutes left here, so if you want to grab any last comments or any last minute questions, I have one more question, Michael. The software, like Photoshop or the graphic software, a lot of people can't afford that. Why doesn't that be included in as an option that you have a way to do some photo editing or graphic design, and then that way it could be sent in as an order? That's a good question. And then within a year, we are developing software to make it easier for those of us Gatoskers to upload their photos, for example, in that ring, the metal ring. That way they can drag and drop right into the ring and make it easier. There's a lot of people don't really know how to remove the background their designs. We have a special department that, graphic artists that can do this, and they will remove the backgrounds for you. I know that a lot of us would like to have Photoshop, but it's a very expensive program. We're going to figure out a way in the future on how to get that. I don't know, maybe Ray wants to add to that. Yeah, I've been looking for an online program. It's very limited. We're trying to find something online, a graphic program. It might be cheaper. It might be limited in features. Photoshop is extremely advanced. There's a lot of features to that, and some of those features are really not needed for. We need something that's very simple, user friendly. You can remove backgrounds and things. Yes, and we are working on something like that. So that is a very good idea. Once I can find something like a third party online, the key is it has to be online, not offline program. It's online software program that someone can edit, and they can save their files online and then upload that. That is a great idea. And once we get that set up, that's going to be like amazing. Yeah, also as we get that software, we will have, like training on how to design. Wait, what am I saying? In the future, yeah, we'll be able to provide some kind of graphic software. Yeah, you mean like a training course that focuses on graphic design? Yes, we do need to work on that area for sure. One thing I wanted to add, sometimes we go to make that art, and we go to drag it, and the person gets pretty overwhelmed. This should be like a step-by-step, maybe a video that shows what to do. Here, this is what you do. Here, maybe some sort of pop-up that explains to you each step what to do. Maybe we were, you can consider that. You know that our training course currently does have a step-by-step, without any signing. You just look at it. If you go to the Gatosk University, you will see a drop-down, like a whole bunch of videos. How many videos do we have right now? I think there's 8 or 9. I think there's more than that. There's a total like 16. Yeah, we need more of those videos. So yeah, they have instruction with text that it shows it step by step, like on screen, what to do. There are videos like that in there. If you have any suggestions, maybe if you're motivated and you want to something like a rough video that what you're talking about. If you have a video that is really a good video, I might be able to use your video and put it into our Gatosk University if you are so inclined. If I don't think it really is professional enough, ready for our website, then we'll probably won't be able to use it. But if you can make something that's really professional and really useful, I definitely would be interested in that. He said there was a CD, a program. Sometimes those videos are kind of quick and it's hard to keep up, so it needs to be slowed down and give us time to figure out what we're seeing. And we get a little bit overwhelmed with some of the videos. Maybe they need to slow down the videos. They're kind of quick and it's hard to keep up. Oh, it's great. That's an interesting comment. We definitely do appreciate hearing the comments, so maybe we need to improve on our videos in the future. Yes, great. Thank you everyone for coming to this webinar. I think it's time that time's run out, right, Raymond? Yeah, unless you want to get a few more questions in. Yeah, we're pretty much. Oh, Michael, I'm concerned about the tests. If you fail the test, do you have to pay again, or is it free to take the test again? Some of people are saying they don't want to keep paying money for the tests if they fail. What is your rule, or what's your policy on that? Well, the questions, there's 10 questions. It's pretty easy to cheat. it's an online test. So we have a test bank. So we have actually a total of like 25 questions total that rotates for each test. So that person that takes it, once they take the test and say they don't pass and they take the test again, they will see different questions to reduce the cheating. We're trying to cut back on the cheating. So in order to pass the test, you have to get an 80% or better. So now you take $2, pay $2 to take the test again. That cuts down on the cheating, because they just keep, if they keep failing the test, as long as if they failed several times and they keep taking the test, they're going to eventually pass. Are they actually learning anything? No. So we're trying to prevent that. So you're going to have to pay $2. If you don't pass the test, you'll pay $2 to retake the test. Maybe you want to explain why that you encourage people to take the test. Maybe people need to understand. Some people don't understand why you have to take a test, whereas other businesses don't require that. Maybe you need to expand on that. That's a good question. So, for example, like McDonald's, you see the arches, they advertise for, they might do like a orange and hot pink, advertising. Well, that's not appropriate. That's not McDonald's colors. So we need to train everyone to make sure everyone understands how Gatosk works and all the requirements, the color that's related to our brand, our policies. That's one part of it. I want to make sure it doesn't conflict with our logos. Some colors may contrast incorrectly with our colors. So, and one negative about internet marketing is that we don't interview distributors. Distributors can join and start working on their own. So, while it's like in a regular non-internet company, they interview, screen, they select people to work for their company. They follow their policies and rules. We don't do that. MLM, that's one negative to that. That's why the FTC have considered how to regulate this market, even have considered possibly requiring all distributors to take a test. So one company, C-Works, I think in 2010 or 2011, that time the government was considering this, setting up this requirement. They decided to go ahead and have the requirement where everybody has to take a test. There's a few other MLM companies that went ahead and added testing without the government stepping in. From what I understand, the government still does not require internet marketing companies to require any kind of testing, but we're going ahead and taking that step to advance the standards and require everyone to take a test. That's correct. For example, there's a lot of people, you've heard that Gatosk is just, you'll make $100, if it's invest $100, make thousands of dollars. You're like, no, you want to make sure that you're giving out the correct information about Gatosk. There's just so many things that we want to make sure that the right information gets out. Yeah, like if I wanted, say that the person decided not to take the test, what would the impact be? What is the benefits of taking the test or not? What impact? They're going to give wrong information. I know, but what is the point? If somebody ignores and doesn't want to take the test, what would happen to that person? Doesn't take the test. Well, right now our system is set up to where we don't enforce the testing. In the future, we envision enforcing that. It's not, the testing is not international. It's not accessible to other languages. It's only English. And even deaf people, it's not really deaf friendly, ASL friendly. So that's the one challenge. So that's why we don't enforce it as of yet. But HBT, if you guys would like to officially be HBT, you can add to event calendars where it'd be an HBT event. If you would like to host, one of the requirements is that they would have to take and pass the test. So whenever you guys would like to do a HBT, you would have to, take the test and pass. So you have to be RC, another requirement, regional counselor. So you must have 55 PV every month, 55. So that for that month, I would be, if I have 55, I would be qualified to host an event that month during that month time, that period. And another one is you need to have completed the training. To any training, HBT or 101 with Joshua, or is this a webinar? Any of those things, if you've attended any of, met those, checked off those 3 things, then you are able to host and become a stronger leader. That's one of the benefits of complying with the training, the testing. And I encourage everyone to take to be more informed and get certified. But in the future, eventually, when it becomes enforced, you won't be able to move up. You'll be stuck at a certain level until you pass the test, and you can move up. Because once you move up, you will earn 90% cash and then 10% store credit, then until eventually you get to the 100% range. At this lower level, it'll be 50-50. You'll be working, and the payout, when you get your cash, you only get half the cash when you're at the lower level. The other half would go towards store credit. So that's like the basic distributor level. But luckily, you guys can move up without having to take the test at this time. Terry? Yeah, I took business a few years ago. I took the test. We had to take a test, and we had to have knowledge about how that business is run. So, yeah, it makes sense. Which business opportunity? EdWorks. And there was another, I forget the name of it. There's been several other ones that I've done that I've had to take a test. That's a big company. Remember, it was like a 40-question test. It was pretty serious. It was a tough test. So we would want to make it a little bit more simpler, maybe 11 basic questions, and keep it streamlined. And you were talking about license. I was thinking about like the different levels of certification. You can move up in training, say like VP. Sometimes they want to know what my certification is. I could look at, see, and know what, based on their experience, we could see that they're certified, and maybe, yeah, that's true. But we have ranks. Don't forget, we have rank. So you will have a pin for RC. So that'll be something that you can. Wait, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Senior, my bad. It's senior will have a pin, a silver pin. EC will have a gold pin. We've already gotten pins for the regular Gatosk, but now we have pins now for executive, and then that will get a pin. And then in the conference next March next year, then when you are seeing other people, you'll be able to see who is a senior, who's an EC. But for RC, there's really no pin for that. So whether you can get a certification or a certificate, maybe something in the future we have something to recognize RCs, the 55 PVs and above. But we already have the rankings. So I'd like to expand about the ranking. That's very key to knowing, because if you guys all are at a meeting, we're all the same. We're all distributors, and it's really hard to differentiate who has more experience than others. And maybe we could find out, that's why we set up the ranking system, so that when you arrive, you know exactly who in the same rank as you. You'll be able to network, and it's a great opportunity. So you need to base it on your level of experience, and you can move up. So, any more questions? Am I running out of time? Okay. Is it the $50 ticket? Is that still, Early bird, yeah, early bird is still going on, I think, till the end of the month, I believe. Maybe no, you have time, June 30th. You have time for the early bird. You still have time for the conference. Some people like to order shirts, but most of them want purple, the color purple. They're very limited on that. There's only white, black, common color. Some people seem to want purple. They feel like it's something that's more brighter and purple. You're right. We need a more variety on color. I can add that all kinds of colors. There's over 20 different colors. I could do that tomorrow. But the one negative is that to show the picture on the shirt, some people like to see what it will look like. So that's the one challenge. It's really difficult to be able to. It's time consuming to be able to post like all of the shirts. So we're limited on which display colors we have. But I think I should go ahead and add a color, just like a little color list to show the actual shirt in that color is hard. But it's better than nothing. You could just check mark on what colors you want. And maybe you have like a little square that shows the different colors. And then they can at least kind of see what color that shirt will be. He said that, but that little, it's very limited. I think I could just add like a little, but the pop-up takes time to show the actual shirt will look like, because you have to change the shirt with the design on it. So it's very time consuming to set that up. I added one shirt with 20 colors. It took me a good 6 hours for one shirt with 20 different colors with the same picture. It was extremely time consuming, but I can have like a example of the color. Like you can just click on the color purple, but I mean you can envision kind of what the design would look like on a purple colored shirt, and you go ahead and order that. I can do that part. I can do that. Yeah, it's very popular. People were talking about that issue. For some reason, purple, they really like that color. But maybe you can add something like that. Maybe you could put some sort of like a choice or a blank spot. They can type in what they want. Like in special instructions or something, they can type in a color they would prefer. Or I could give people a choice of colors, not necessarily have every color. It'd be pretty overwhelming. You might have to limit it to how many choices they have. And that way that people can have a choice. Oh, thanks for the tip. All right, great. Okay, are we done? Well, Kevin, that background is purple behind you. You have a purple background. Is that purple? Great. Yay, purple. Oh. Some people are, even George's wearing a purple shirt. Seems where you wear. Purple's a popular color. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. Good night, everyone. Thanks for your time.